Hey Geminis, Island Turtle here. Welcome to BOMISpirit. This is the general monthly reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And of course, if you have any other significant placements in Gemini or multiple placements in Gemini, or you're just drawn to watch Gemini, welcome to Gemini. There's going to be part 2 over on Patreon. You can also find it on Vimeo. Links are below for your convenience. We also have social media, website stuff. Check all that out too. Geminis, let's get started. This is actually my second time trying to record. Now, I had to take a break in the first one because my head just my head couldn't take it. And so I was like, let me lay down. Gemini, you put me out. There's so much energy around the crown. Okay, it's like starting in. So much energy around the head. I think I'll be fine this time because I did some energy stuff. But the thing I was hearing with you, Gemini, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Now, there's two things that were coming up there. I kept feeling like you were feeling bogged down, potentially almost burned out by specific obligations. And now I'm getting the Hierophant. They're showing me the Hierophant right now. So Taurus energy, I did pick up on Taurus too in the first reading. But yeah, it's like obligations, responsibilities, routines, things that you keep investing in, you keep doing. It almost feels like out of habit or out of pattern, or expectations of values, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I'm going to say responsibilities because that's what I was getting more so in the first reading. The tray of responsibilities you carry every day, something has been making it harder recently. Something has been making it more unsustainable. And I was getting that for some of you, there's a tower. It's just what I was feeling. I didn't see it in the cards, but I was feeling that. There's been some sort of catalyst, and for some, a domino effect that is making it harder to carry that tray. Now, again, that could be an obligation or a commitment, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, for some of you, it's just been one thing. Others of you, it's been one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. All right. Now, another way that I'm getting this whole phrase of, or perceiving this phrase of heavy is the head that wears the crown. Some of you, I feel have maybe been striving a lot to be seen in a specific way, like someone worthy of wearing a crown. I am the leader. I am the boss. I am the head of the family. I am good at this or whatever. To the point where maybe it's not authentic anymore, and maybe you started to lose sight of other things, right? So that's what I'm getting, Gemini. You've been at something, you've been doing something, you've been investing in something that has now required a lot of you, to the point where it's not sustainable, and you're recognizing that. Now, I also started to get this very scattered energy with you, which is very Gemini, but almost compartmentalized parts of you. It was really funky because I had 3 separate sets of cards come out, and I was like, they're all so different, but they're you. So Gemini. These pieces of yourself and personal desires that you've kind of put in these boxes, and you've gotten a little lost in the overwhelm, the stress of maintaining your responsibilities, right? Excuse me. And you kind of need to find your way back to those pieces, and that's going to help mellow you out a little bit. But that was just what was coming up in the first reading. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started and see how this one goes. I'm going to use the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck to start. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. You could be feeling kind of poetic. There's I'm getting a little bit of poetry and writing and reading. I'm not taking it, but he peeked out the fox, which is Gemini, one of my Gemini cards. Oh, excuse me. Hold on a second. Okay. Gemini. There's a need to also not suffer in silence with this. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to tell people that you're struggling. It's okay to tell people you need help. It's also okay to not continue with the same thing you've been doing over and over and over again. Or maybe it's a relationship and maybe it really needs to be put down, and you just keep trying at it, right? It's not a failure. It also doesn't make you weak. It just makes you human, right? Any messages or insights for Gemini? sorry, these two cards individually make me smile, so seeing them come out together is like, oh, makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. Unicorn and Dolphin. Dolphin also is a Gemini card to me. Very, very playful. Dolphin also represents polarity, but in this deck, the Dolphin represents the healer, the mystic. Everybody loves Spirit on the Dolphin. They're literally just a ray of sunshine that makes everybody happy and feel good, but very playful and sexual as well. Unicorn is the third eye chakra. Unicorn in this deck is very Aquarian to me, which I also picked up on Aqua as well for you too. I picked up on Aqua, Taurus, and Gemini is what I picked up on in the previous read. But Unicorn is believing that the impossible is very possible. These two cards together are very spiritual. Very spiritual. Oh, I don't feel like I'm looking at another piece of you. Sorry. So many pieces to you, Gemini. And like, it's funny because I got this visual in the first reading of like a Tim Burton scene, like his kind of art style, and like you're picking up like let me pick up my hand, let me pick up my leg, like literally pulling yourself kind of back together. And like, I know I'm kind of laughing, and some of you might not find that funny, but there's a little humor in everything, right? It's like the visual was very comedic to me. But anyway, Unicorn and Dolphin. I am getting dream time. Yeah, dream time, telepathy, astral. I feel like this might not be you, Gemini. Whatever I was picking up on in the first reading, I'm identifying as you. This feels like a whole other energy that I feel like you're actually connecting with non-physically. That's how that feels to me. Now, take it as you will. Maybe you're this energy. Maybe the other energy was you. Maybe there's a reason I had to do this reading over, right? But I feel a lot of astral activity, again, dream time, telepathy, and that feels really good. It's like, even if in the physical reality, you're struggling to like keep doing and 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 keep doing, knowing it's not sustainable, knowing that like you might crack, you might burn out unless you change something. At least in the non-physical, you're having a good time. You're having a good time. And connecting with a dolphin-like energy. Now, the dolphin energy can be a guide. It doesn't have to be anybody that you know personally in the physical, but for some of you, it very well could be, and you'll know if that's the case because you'll have seen them in your dreams. Okay? Anyway, moving on. Interesting. Earthworm. You're Gemini, but I keep getting like Taurus, Aqua, Taurus, Aqua, Taurus, Aqua. Like I keep getting very fixed energy. Earthworm is a discomfort. It's a feeling of I'm very uncomfortable because I'm in a new experience, or I'm in a new circumstance, or I'm just dealing with something I've never dealt with before. It has this like foreign quality, which I feel like you're being asked to do, almost like a full energy. Like, excuse me, when it comes to the tray you've been carrying around, that's been getting heavier and heavier and heavier, whether someone's been messing it up in your reality, or things that have been happening outside of yourself to make that particular responsibility harder. Like if this is a work thing only, like maybe there's been someone at work that's giving you more work, or maybe messing up your projects or your client situation, right? Or maybe your whole responsibilities were like work and taking care of the house and taking care of yourself, and then suddenly you're expecting a child, right? It's like, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like your responsibilities seem to keep growing, but it's just not sustainable. Something needs to change. And that's what I feel like this is. I feel like you're getting help here, Gemini. I feel like you're getting help and assistance from this energy. Again, a lot of you, this is a guide. Some of you, it's a person, but it's all non-physical. I really want to stress that. It's all non-physical communication and like pushing and nudging to get you to change something, to get you to handle your responsibilities differently. I'm also hearing remember. Remember what? I feel like you're also being asked, Gemini. Yeah, I already picked up on this before. To remember what matters to you. What actually matters to you? What actually would make you happy beyond the responsibility. Like, remember what your heart wants. Remember what your soul wants. Like, are there certain things or people or environments where your heart or your soul is like, you still think about it or you still crave it? That person, that place, that thing, right? Remember that. Remember those feelings. Remember those desires. Yeah, I feel like it's like, again, picking up pieces of yourself. Some of you guys, this could even manifest in, as far as like inner child work or soul retrieval work as well. But anyway, coming back to Earthworm, you're being asked to change. You're being asked to embrace change. And normally Geminis, you don't have any problem with that, but keep getting all this fixed energy like you're not a Gemini. Or it's like you're not like a dominant Gemini. Doesn't have to be true. That's just the energy I'm getting for you. Anyway, moving on. Anything else for my Geminis? Oh, dear, divine feminine principle. Yeah, Geminis, you're being asked to really get in your soul, really get in your heart. And like, we all have responsibilities. We all got shit we got to do in this physical reality, but that's not our entire life, right? We don't come here to pay bills. That's not why we're here, right? We're here to experience. We're here to create. We're here to grow. We're here to learn. Like, we're really just here to have an experience. We're not here to pay bills. That is not the only reason why we're here. We're not here to just burn the midnight oil or just have all these obligations. It's not the only reason why we're here. And you're being asked to remember that and to get into that place where, yeah, it's a little uncomfortable for you to get into this place. You're really honest and vulnerable about that. But I keep getting there's a vulnerability here that you need to move into. I'm not going to say need, that would probably benefit you. And it's about you putting down that tray or changing how you carry that tray, or maybe giving it to someone else for a while, or maybe taking some things off of it, right? Or even replacing some things on it. Something's got to give. Something's got to change. And you've got this energy here telling you something's got to change. There's also this energy too of prioritizing self-care with Earthworm and Deer. Yeah, being very gentle with yourself, being very soft with yourself. Also this energy too of allowing yourself to receive, especially when it comes to help and support. Anything else for my Geminis? Well, oh, my head, man. Oh. Some of you are, I was gonna say, some of you are starting over with somebody. We have Tiger. Tiger is also divine feminine energy for me. This is divine feminine principle, like Empress, goddess energy. Tiger is more like inner divine feminine power, like Sekhmet, empowerment, ferocity, right? This card also resembles spiritual awakening. I keep getting to, some of you are starting over with somebody, like a very Empress-like energy. They don't have to be female, but they're Empress-like, meaning they probably have, oh, excuse me, very nasally. They probably have a lot going on in their lives, but they also do a really good job at taking care of themselves. They can be very abundant or very fertile-like or looking. And they've also probably have a lot of life experience, probably been through a lot of stuff. You'll know who you are if you're in that boat. But anyway, moving on to Tiger. There is something that's awakening here, Gemini, that wants to awaken within you. I like it. We have a lot of energy on the board that's about like play, fire, take care of you, right? Instead of this, I'm gonna keep doing 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 this. I like this for you. I like this for you. Am I taking these? No. Any other messages? Wah! Okay, okay. Calm the deck down. I feel like one more card wants to come out. All right, there we go. Oh, the sacral. We have the sacral and the third eye chakra here. Tiger with sea serpent. That's a lot of fire. Oh, that's a lot of juiciness. Because sacral is creative expression. It's also a chakra where we have a lot of creativity and sexuality and passion and thirst for life. And Tiger also speaks to that, but awakening to that. Awakening to that. There's a lot more that you actually want, Gemini, than you realize, but being in this like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna like sticking to your patterns, your routines, being rigid potentially with like your repetition of things, of how you're living your life, again, in terms of responsibilities. there's so much fun you're missing out on. There's so much like, ooh, like, yeah, just like inner juicy fieriness of Gemini that wants to come out and wants to have fun and wants to blossom and wants to indulge in that. And I keep feeling this nudge from spirit or a guide or someone that you keep meeting up with in the astral too, or someone that you have a very strong telepathic or psychic connection with. If these are responsibilities that you have because, you know, maybe you have a family with somebody, or maybe you have a business with somebody, even working under somebody, you got to have a very uncomfortable conversation with them of, hey, I need to kind of take care of myself a little bit more now. I need to kind of prioritize me now. Yeah, interesting. There's a lot that wants to come out, Gemini, and a lot that wants to come out and play. Some of you, there's also a sexual awakening as well. Yeah, it feels like just awakening your creative, fun, play, feminine, sexual side. It's like you've been in too much masculine or something. Anything else for my Geminis? I mean, you are a masculine sign. Anything else for my Geminis? Foxy Fox. One of my Gemini cards came out. Anything else? Just got pulled with the Fae really strong. Interesting. So we have Fox out here with Unicorn and Dolphin. These are very different energies. I feel like this represents you, and I feel like this represents that external energy. So like I said, this is the second time I've done this reading. I think everything I was picking up on in the first reading is for the Fox who's going through this process. But this is definitely an external energy to the Fox. Now, if you identify with the Fox and everything else I've said, then you know who you are. If you identify with the Dolphin, excuse me, energy, you know who you are. Anyway, yeah, there's definitely a lot of psychic talking, meeting up in the astral between these two energies. Fox is, again, very Gemini, very intelligent, very intellectual, and honestly, kind of logical, right? It's like the Fox observes, and makes very quick decisions when they need to, when they don't feel safe or something has to change. Like it's very masculine in nature, right? I see something, I do something. I see something, I do something. It's very linear thinking. While Dolphin is just like, I'm in the water, I'm not, I'm here, I'm there, I'm just whatever, I'm flow. Feminine. Very fascinating. Yeah, so if you identify with the Fox, listen to the Dolphin. The Dolphin could even be an aspect of yourself. Okay? Could even be that part of you that's like, let me out! Let me out and play, please! Let me, please! So just listen to the Dolphin, whether that's an internal voice, an aspect of yourself, or it's a guide, or it is someone that you are meeting up with in the astral. Listen to that. Overall, we have Horse. Yeah, I knew I felt that survival mode. Camel, Hyena. Jeez. Horse is like Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Cups energy to me. She's the he. It's very feminine to me, so I say she, but it could be he. Master of Earth in this deck. The multitasker. The master of carrying the tray, essentially. With Camel, survival mode. With Hyena, Seven of Swords. Something is like not right here. And then we have Hawk, which is spirit intervening. That's what Hawk is. That's the card of spirit is close. Spirit's going to try to guide you here and there. I feel divine intervention here, trying to like get you to see what's not sustainable about this and guiding you to Spider. Oh, and the golden egg. Encouraging you to co-create and change your reality. That's what Spirit's trying to say. Like, get out of survival mode, get out of this mastery of carrying the tray and doing routine over and over, and get into your heart and get into your sacral, get into your soul, and start creating a different reality for yourself. Start creating from the heart. Stop creating from this place of survival. Start creating from the heart. Start creating from the soul. Start creating from your creative, juicy center, right? Start doing it. Start doing that. I do want to mention this because I think this is kind of interesting. Whoa. I'm not going to talk about that. Underneath golden egg, we have fire ant, which is indicating that there's some energy lurking around in your heart center of frustration, of anger, of tension, because deep down you know this ain't sustainable. Hyena also speaks to that. This is not sustainable. It also doesn't make you very happy. So let's move on, Gemini. Let's go ahead and get into some tarot. And then I'm going to get into part 2. Using Honest Truth deck for this one. It's funny, right? Because like Dolphin and Fox, sorry, I gotta pull back to this. Dolphin and Fox are both Gemini to me, but very different. Very different. Fox to me is more that like masculine cautionary Gemini energy, and Dolphin is more like the inner child feminine like Gemini energy. It's just fascinating. Anyway. One more. So I wasn't going to talk about it, but as I was looking at like the golden egg and the fire ant, looking at all the cards underneath, eagle was right under that fire ant. And we had hawk out before, right? Hawk and eagle I look at as counterparts, like feminine, masculine. And like I said, this could be about you communicating with yourself, needing to listen to this part of yourself. And for some of you listening to something outside of you, just felt the need to point it out. That's all I'm going to say. Moving on. Tell me about Fox with Unicorn and Dolphin. I'm getting like a Page of Swords energy. Tell me about Fox with Unicorn and Dolphin. Like a analytical research, like trying to, like, how do I want to say? Like the seeds and like beginning baby steps of trying to initiate change, trying to understand the situation, right? Trying to understand why this goddamn tray is so heavy and how do I change this? Clean up Fox, Unicorn, and Dolphin. What did I say? You ain't happy. 9 of Cups in reverse. Again, the Dolphin with Unicorn, it feels like this nudge from your guides, your team, maybe an ancestor, maybe an aspect of yourself, or someone you know, but it's all non-physical. It's in dream time, or it's through telepathy. Trying to help you, trying to be like, hey, you could be a little bit more like this. Maybe you could get into that. Maybe you could awaken your sexual energy and awaken your creative juices here, awaken your inner feminine. Because 9 of Cups in reverse, you're not happy. Yeah, it's this inner knowing that you can't escape. You're not happy. Death. And you know a change is needed. It's inescapable. You know. Oh, itchy, sorry. You know. Something's got to give here. Can I get one more for Fox, Unicorn, and Dolphin? Oh. Interesting. 5 of Swords in reverse. Don't take it so serious. Play more. That's actually what I'm getting with the 5 of Swords in reverse. Because 5 of Swords is all about winning at all costs. That's what the 5 of Swords is about. I'm going to win this argument. I'm going to win this situation. I'm going to dominate at all costs. It's like a desperate sort of energy. The ego is very involved in that. 5 of Swords in reverse is acceptance, but it's also not getting to that place where it has to be black and white, all or nothing. Like, again, to not take it so serious. Don't take carrying the tray so seriously or so all-encompassing or so black and white or be so rigid about it. Remember other things that are a part of life. Remember your juicy sexual energy, your creative energy. Remember to take care of you, right? Like, remember to have fun, like all of that. Don't take carrying the tray so seriously. Let's move on. Oh my God. When I channel, my nose gets so itchy. My God. Can I get a card for Earthworm and Deer? I keep getting some of you are resetting with somebody. Some of you are resetting with somebody. Again, this could be somebody that you're involved with on a family level, a business level, or maybe you have history with this person. But again, they're definitely an Empress. They're in their divine feminine for sure. And this is the Fox resetting with a Deer, potentially. For most of you, it's about getting into that Deer energy yourself and getting vulnerable. Getting into a place where you're taking care of yourself, maybe relying on other people to support you, to give to you, right? Like instead of providing, like to be provided for. But some of you are definitely resetting with somebody. Oh, 8 of Swords, huh? Well, there's the discomfort of the Earthworm. I feel like this is like being afraid of taking that leap, of getting into full energy. I keep feeling the Fool card with this too. Like with Deer, I feel Empress. With the Earthworm, I feel this discomfort, anxiety, and I feel the Fool card. But 8 of Swords is a self-imposed imprisonment of the mind, right? It's the tricks that we tell ourselves of negative self-talk and doubt and all those things. But yeah, there's fear. There's fear about doing this, of resetting with somebody, or again, getting into that Empress energy for the self. Remember what I said about the Hierophant? They were showing me the Hierophant before? Hierophant. I feel like Hierophant is representing the tray and why you've been carrying the tray and how you've been carrying the tray. Everything about the tray. This tray that seems to be like cuffed to your arms and it's like getting, first it was like made of feathers and now it's like made of freaking marble. It's just like, it's getting harder and harder and harder and harder. You're afraid of what's going to happen with the tray and the consequences of that. If you make a change here, or if you put it down for a while or take some things off of it. Like, and again, Hierophant can represent many things. So this tray can be relationship. This tray can be your beliefs, your own rules of life. I don't know why that came up that way. It just came up that way. Your own rules of life, your own ethics, codes you live your life by, your own programming even. But that's what the Hierophant's about. Okay. Can I get one more? I want one more for Earthworm and Deer. Some of you are a high priest or a high priestess. That just needed to be said. And they reminded me heavy is the head that wears the crown. A very active, evolved crown, or an actual, like, I'm a king, queen, I'm a leader, whatever. A matriarch, patriarch. But I'm getting, for some of you, you're a high priest, high priestess, energetically speaking. Can I get one more? Woo! Got 2 more. Yep, what to do? 7 of Pentacles to the 8 of Pentacles, which means there's an Ace of Pentacles. What do? Do I just rework the tray? Do I just change what I'm doing with the tray? Or Ace of Pentacles? Do I drop the tray and just do something completely different? Do I completely break away from the tray and just decide to not do it anymore? It's a choice of the 8 of Pentacles or the Ace. Do I try to take this all the way? Or do I say, you know what? This don't work, I gotta put it down. That's what you're asking yourself. Hold on a second. All right. Moving on. Oh my God, almost 30 minutes. Geminis, you got a long reading out of me. Tiger and Sea Serpent. I should have called it. I knew I felt that Queen of Wands energy. Because I kept feeling like for some of you, there's this question of resetting with somebody, which tells me something happened between you and this person, for those who are in that boat. Just take that as confirmation. Strength in reverse, 6 of Swords in reverse, and the Queen of Wands in reverse. There's a lot going on there. Ugh. God, how to suss out these emotions. First of all, some of you guys got some anger you got to deal with that is trying to come out of your sacral so you can bloom, you can blossom in that energy. Oh, some of you who are resetting with somebody, God, it was not pretty. It was not pretty. It's like there's anger, there's resentment, control issues, insecurity that took place between you and this person, or they made you feel these things, if it's like the person you're resetting with, right? Now, coming back to you, Gemini, those are just some things I was picking up on, but I want to come back to the main message here of the tiger and the sea serpent, because that's what this is clarifying, okay? This is a feeling of powerlessness. It's like you don't want to deal with changing the tray or letting go of the tray because there's something about that tray, about the Hierophant, that makes you feel powerful and in control, which to me says you're attached to it, which to me says codependency, like devil energy. Like maybe it is something that's been a part of you or has helped you, but if you become that attached to it, it starts to become restrictive, right? It starts to not be helpful anymore. But mostly of what I'm getting is like the stuff that wants to come out of your sacral. This feels like stuff that wants to get cleaned out, essentially. It's this feeling of powerlessness. It's this feeling of like desire and passion that's almost like rotted, which is, in my opinion, I think that's actually how some distortions happen. Like you have like this really beautiful energy, but then it just sits there. Like what happens when water just sits there, right? Becomes stagnant, becomes gross, things start to grow on it. It starts to not be clean water anymore, right? It's like that energy has become tainted or something, or turned. It's turned on itself. It's like mutated. Like parts of you that could have been expressed through passion, and I'm actually hearing love and creativity and fun and play, because they've gone unexpressed, suppressed, really. They've now turned, they've soured into this feeling of, well, if I'm not going to be expressed, maybe I can't express those things, right? So it's like loss of confidence, resentment, anger, all of those things. I think you guys understand what I'm getting at here. But mostly what I'm getting is this feeling of powerlessness that wants to be rooted out of your sacral. Okay, let's see if... Sorry, Gemini's. Oh my God. Oh, all right. Interesting. 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups always goes to the 10, but 8 of Cups implies leaving things behind, especially things that are emotional or you've been potentially emotionally attached to, which is the tray. Or at least the level of attachment and investment in carrying that specific tray the way you have been, right? Beautiful. Page of Wands, landing in on the deer here. Page of Wands is excitement for the new, for the adventure, remembering what you're passionate about. Yeah. Big cleaning up of your sacral and your own passion here. And thirst for life, thirst for play. Again, what actually matters to you, not just the responsibilities, not just your obligations, not just work, right, for some of you. On the bottom, we have 2 of Pentacles. 5 of Wands in reverse. Wow. 9 of Wands in reverse, which means there's a 4 of Wands there. 4 of Wands, very similar to the Hierophant. Again, representing the tray, right, around that. How do I find balance? How do I find balance and get away from the struggle of having to carry this tray in a way that's unsustainable? I mean, God, it just goes on and on and on. Look at this. Oops. 7 of Swords, Empress in reverse, and the 10 of Swords in reverse. This is betraying your own inner feminine. For some of you, this is actually about a relationship and carrying the tray of responsibilities or ethics or values or whatever, or for some of you, it's just straight up work, forced you to neglect another person. Maybe something happened there, because for some of you, there's like this, can we reset? Can we reset? Can we reset? Right? But this is definitely betraying your own feminine, your own ability to create, your own ability to take care of just your soul and like have fun and enjoy and receive, versus I'm going to carry the tray. 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 Okay. Some of you could have chose a Queen of Wands over an Empress. That totally could have happened. Not to like go into the whole like typical thing you see in tarot readings, but that definitely could have happened here with the way these cards came out. Anyway, I'm gonna get into part 2 because your reading is too long. Way too long. I want to get deeper into some of this here. Yeah, I want to get a little deeper into some of this here. And I will see you guys on the other side. If this is where we depart, then this is where we depart. And I hope you really enjoyed it. And don't forget to check out the website and social media and all that stuff. And I'll see you guys very soon. Take care, Geminis.